Traveler, hurry, have a seat. I've heard something, if you have time to listen.
Sometimes grief breaks a person. Sometimes it changes them. And sometimes it leads them into something far more dangerous than sorrow. Tonight, Kaylee rides between two very different kinds of protection, one she trusts, and one who may love her far more than she knows. A small pang jerked through her, but it didn't destroy her. Wouldn't her father wish her to remember that? Yes, always. She took a deep breath, stabbing herself with the memory, yet also holding it close, like a candle in the dark. And in spite of herself, she smiled. The darkness around them reminded her that it was night. She had forgotten to play human. The moon lit the night well enough, but as elven kind, darkness wasn't as black as most people thought. There was light everywhere, fractals of tiny starlight scattered through the world, reflecting from leaf and stone and water. Her eyes could catch what others could not. All she had to do was clear her mind and blink once, clearing faded lights away, seeing the world as it was meant to be seen. It was beautiful. She looked around, letting that sight wash through her. Then she forced herself to look uncertain, as if she were lost. "Forgive me once more, Dante," she said carefully, "but I feel as if I cannot see very well." A little less than true, but Wulfgar's command lived in her like law. Do not let them know you are elven kind. Dante moved closer behind her, making her heart give a small start. "Well then, my lady," he said. He rode his horse up beside hers, flanking her. He held out his hands. She took them, and he gently lifted her, drawing her up to ride side saddle in front of him. "You shall ride with me," he murmured, "and your horse shall follow. You know horses have wonderful night vision, not as well as the elven kind, but well enough." His words held a strange warmth, as if her closeness had pleased him. Kaylee felt heat sink into her cheeks. Her chest felt odd. He spurred the horse forward. They took a faster pace, the horse trotting lazily down the mountainside. More than once Dante had to wrap an arm around her to keep her from slipping, and Kaylee did not mind. The closeness was something she craved. She missed the closeness of her mother and father, the hugs, the warmth, the way her mother would tuck her in when she was younger, the way her father's hand would rest briefly on her shoulder like a promise. Dante's horse glided over a fallen tree. When it landed, the jolt shivered through her already sore muscles, and she finally gave in, leaning into him. His chest was firm, warm, welcoming. Never had she been this close to anyone but her parents, or Wulfgar. In a way it was outlandish and exciting. "Are you well?" Dante asked, feeling her shift. She nodded, eyes closed. He had shed his armor long ago and tied it tightly to her horse, allowing her to be more comfortable. When he wore it, the occasional bumps had left bruises on her soft flesh. "It's not such a bad thing to curl up to another," Dante said quietly. The reminder jolted her upright. He squeezed her back against him, steadying her. "Forgive me," she breathed. "You are a stranger. I do not know you, and I am taking familiarities I should not have." "It is all right," he whispered. "I only wish to help you." She leaned into him once more. He was too warm, too real, to ignore. "Rest will do you some good," he said. "We will be with the others soon enough, and you can take comfort in me, to make you strong enough to face them." Kaylee breathed. This was far more than comfortable. For years, secretly, she had longed to be aided by such a man. Strong, handsome, understanding, seeing her not as a child, but as the woman she was becoming. "They taught me so much, Wulfgar. Almost as much as you have. Even thinking was hard, like lifting stone. They were..." She almost didn't have the effort to finish the thought. "They were my parents." Wulfgar made a low grumble, deep in his chest. heavy with something older than the night. Yes, never could they be replaced. But they wanted you to be happy, and even without them, you can be happy. I am sure of that. He tried to rise to all fours, shifting his weight as if duty called him away. But Kaylee rolled over and flung her leg upon him, clumsy, desperate, refusing. He gave a huff. Yet she entangled her fingers in his fur and held on, burying her face fully into the thick warmth of his neck, like a drowning girl clinging to driftwood. I must go feed now, little fleshling, he warned, trying again. When you are ready, you must get up. You must be strong. Many things are to come clear to you, and you must be prepared. I will leave you to your thoughts. Kaylee gasped painfully and clutched tighter, panic blooming bright in her throat. He tried once more to pull away. She held. So he sank back down, allowing her sad little attempts to keep him there to win, just this once. Not completely, she begged, gripping his fur with ferocity. She did not want to be alone. Never again. Wulfgar laughed low, the sound like distant thunder softened by affection. No, never completely, but just enough so you can think on your own. And if you need me, you know how to bring me to you. She nodded against him. That she did know. What would I do without you, Wulfgar? She whispered pitifully, letting her hands fall away a little, cherishing the heat that rolled from him. Well, he replied dryly, I do not wish to find out. So let us not ask ill-thought questions. She gave a tired nod and closed her eyes. Nothing would ever be the same. A new life awaited her, but it did not feel possible. There was still so much pain. Then Wulfgar was gone. His presence slipped away, leaving a strange, hollow quiet behind. Yet even as he left, his voice lingered one last time, rough with reluctant care. Be watchful. That elven is running amok looking for your sorry state. Kaylee couldn't help the crooked grimace that twisted through her grief. In a way, she felt Wulfgar did not want her to be found, as if she was his. Well, she loved being his. She was his fleshling, his ever-companion. She sighed, and exhaustion finally crawled up through her bones and wrapped around her. It took over every fibre. Kaylee woke with a small shake. She lifted her dishevelled head and found Dante looking right at her. She startled, heart slamming, jerking backward so fast she tripped and landed sourly on her rear end. For a moment she simply lay there, stunned and trembling, as if her body had forgotten it was allowed to exist without fear. Dante only smiled. You've been asleep for a while, he said gently. I thought you may never wake. She sat up slowly this time, cheeks burning with embarrassment and lingering tears. She brushed grass from her gown with clumsy hands. Dante turned his head away, giving her a sliver of dignity while she fixed herself quickly, smoothing the fabric, pushing hair back, swallowing the shame of being seen like that. When he looked again, she was sure he saw only blotchy eyes, and perhaps a stray blade of grass caught in her hair. I chased that mare of yours down, he added, gesturing behind him. And sure enough, the large workhorse stood happily munching upon the grass in the field, as if the world had never cracked open. He looked to Kaylee. They do not like the sun much. He wasn't in the best of moods. A tension crackled in the air, like the forest itself listened. Very well, Dante said. We must sleep then. He steered Kaylee to her empty bedroll. Firelight glinted off all his golden features, and for a strange moment she found herself transfixed, caught between grief, exhaustion, and something dangerous and new. Being seen. She bent down. Dante took her hand, and to her surprise helped her to lay. She covered herself, rolling to the side away from both men. Her heart beat like a trapped bird. When would this stop? Good night, my lady, Dante whispered, stepping away to his own resting place. Kaylee waited a few moments for her heart to slow. She was still tired, despite sleeping so much. You must travel swiftly on the marrow. Wulfgar's voice rumbled over her half-sleeping mind. Or else you will have a band of those brigands upon you, Kaylee. She drifted for a moment. Wulfgar, she thought sleepily, will you come lay with me? He nodded. Not long after, he was curled up by her side. That is better, she murmured, turning and pressing up against his fur. Just like when we camped. From our travel to the towns together, Papa had been so sick. Wulfgar huffed, laying his head down by hers. Do not get used to this, little fleshling. But she felt his toughness wane. He was looking at her, hot breath moving in and out, close enough to warm her face. She wrinkled her nose and chuckled softly as his whiskers tickled her cheek. Wulfgar, she asked, nearly asleep. What now? He groaned, huffing a breath of heat onto her face. She scooted forward and buried the side of her face into him. Does Dante think I am beautiful? Wulfgar exhaled a heavy sigh. Of course he does, little fleshling. It made him angry, but it made her smile. Maybe there was hope for her after all. Dante was strong and elven. Maybe he would take her on his journey. Maybe he would bring her to Terminag. She would find a home. Hope floated through her sleepy mind. Her and Wulfgar could have a new home together, with people of her kind, people who would know how to help her, and Wulfgar with what she sought. Kaylee trickled off towards sleep. But Wulfgar still thought on the subject, anger simmering. He whispered what was on his mind anyway, quiet, honest, and too late. Any man or beast would be beseeched by your beauty, even I. By the time the words left him, she was already dreaming far away. Wulfgar sighed. Even an ancient being had been caught in her gaze. Even as a child, she had caught his heart. The second her hand had touched his hot face, she had turned darkness into light. He was an ancient demon without hope of a heart, damned for so long, with no salvation in sight. Kaylee showed him he could have everything, and he loved her fiercely for it. But she knew not of this, and it made things all the worse for him. Wulfgar looked over to Dante and huffed a low growl. But Dante was already glaring at Wulfgar. Wulfgar turned his head away from the damned elf and buried his muzzle in Kaylee's hair, his senses filling with wildflowers and innocence. She snuggled closer. He lay his head by hers, protective, possessive, unyielding. No one. Next time, Wulfgar begins to realize something terrifying. The little fleshling he swore to protect may one day belong to another. And Dante may already suspect far more about Kaylee than she believes. The road to Terminag grows darker, and the secrets surrounding Kaylee are only beginning.
Wasn't that interesting? Now don't forget to subscribe for more.
And ring the bell for your server.